Okay, good afternoon, folks. First of all, a massive welcome to Anne. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us here this afternoon. And thank you then also to all the students who have joined us as well. Okay, I'll introduce Anne Orr. She is the founder of Boards123, and what she's going to do today, we're going to have an engaging and fun virtual workshop. Okay, and that means engaging, meaning you can join in, okay, either through the chat bar, raise your hand, turn your mic on, turn your video on. And what we're talking about today, or what Anne's going to talk about today, is about the ability to empower you to take control of your role and your responsibilities to help improve your communication skills and your performance, particularly when you're working within a team or within a group. And again, then she's going to provide us with tips and tools to demonstrate, those critical business skills that employers are looking for in our undergraduates and graduates. So your ability to generate creative ideas, to be a creative problem solver, to look at teamwork, and to look at communication. So without further ado, then I will hand over to Anne and let her crack on. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you very much, Norman, and thanks to Brian as well, who's also here from UU, and thanks especially to Ulster for putting on this amazing week, and thanks for everyone who's signed up and showed up for this afternoon session. Again, conscious it is lunchtime, so we are going to have an interactive session, but please just come as you are. I really want everyone to have a chance to speak up or contribute to the session, and I don't care if you've got a bowl of Rice Krispies sitting beside you, it doesn't matter to me. This is just all about helping you guys over the next 60 minutes, so thank you very much. Okay. So today's workshop is called Press Play, Get Work Ready. So we want to get you ready for the workplace. We want you to feel empowered that when you're actually in meetings or working in teams and trying to solve problems, that you have a stronger awareness of what works well for you in terms of how you communicate and how you solve problems and how you achieve your goals, and how that also translates over to the team that you're in, or the workplace that you're working with, or the boss that you're talking to, or the customer that needs your help. So it's all about helping you feel more empowered and less overwhelmed. Okay, so we've got to do all of that in 60 minutes. No problem, absolutely, not a problem at all. We're going to use our framework, and it's called Boost. Okay, so Boost, we want to boost up your confidence, boost up your skills. That's why you're here today. That's why of all the people that registered and signed up, you're the people that showed up. So first of all, amazing. Thank you so much for showing up. It's really, really important to follow through. If you sign up for things, you're already demonstrating that you want to be here, that you want to engage. So let's engage for the next 60 minutes. So today in the workshop, we are going to talk about basics of meetings. Some of you were in the earlier session. We're not going to cover the same stuff again, but we will look at it from a different angle, empower you to learn the rules of meetings, and discover techniques to help you level up your meeting skills. Then we're going to go through your objectives for meetings. Objectives for meetings, what is that? Goals, meeting goals. If you're going to spend time in a meeting, what do you want to get out of that meeting? Why are you there? I hope you're not just not there because someone's paying you to be there. I hope you're there with an objective or a goal. Or there's something that you want to actually get out of that meeting. So we're going to help you reduce those pre-meeting nerves so you can achieve your objective or your goal. Okay, and then we're going to look at obstacles. So we all put little blockers up inside our minds to stop that stop us being able to show up or speak up. So let's look at that and let's talk about why that's happening to you and what's stopping you from helping your ideas shine through. Okay, and this isn't just like a student graduate thing. This is like as you go through your whole career, it's like a cycle. So what we want to do is just try and help you, give you some tips and tricks on how to start breaking those cycles, okay? The rest of Boost, I'm clicking my slide here. I'm not sure if it's coming or not. Click slide. I think it's just thinking. Come on, internet. All right, skills. We've got skills. Keep going. Internet, don't stop now. We've got skills and teamwork, if it shows up. Slide 9. We'll
Give me 1 second, Catherine, and I'll see, can I?
Yeah, teamwork. We've got skills and teamwork. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about skills and teamwork in tomorrow's session. There's another, or Friday session with me. So but we're just focusing on the basics, the objectives or the goals and the skills, okay? Outcomes. Right, so we've already gone through the housekeeping. Don't need to do that slide. Don't need to test Blackboard. So right, to get started, just to get you used to interacting, can you please type your name and the course that you're studying in the chat box? And while you're doing that, I'll just introduce myself. So my name is Anne, and I'm on a mission to help stop bad meetings. There's nothing worse than spending your whole day just constantly sitting in badly run meetings, poor communication, you don't know why you're there, you just want to leave, you're really demotivated and de-energized, okay? You guys are graduating with cutting edge skills, knowledge, learning, and energy. When you get hired on, you're there because of who you are and what you bring to the table. So part of that is actually going to be helping people stop having bad meetings, and that's what I want to do today. I also want to build up representation of diversity and inclusion at executive level. So by learning these skills when you graduate and go into the workplace, that's going to help you advance your career as well. And that is exactly what this whole week is about in terms of future skills at UU. It's about getting into careers and then building those skills as you go throughout your career. So thanks everybody. Bernadette's journalism and English. Oh, fab. Amy, you're accounting. Smiley face for that. Zoe, you're studying mechanical engineering. That is so cool. Peter, hello again, English undergrad. Taylor, computer science. Catherine, first year CAM student. I don't know what CAM is. Catherine, could you type that in, please? Sorry. Tom, hello. Tom, you are studying accountancy. Thanks, everybody. Oh, communication, advertising, and marketing. Well, there you go. Lesson number 1. I would have said that was Marcom. That just shows my age there for that. Okay. So Boards123. We have a software dashboard, which is perfect if anyone is in a club or a society. Everyone should be in a club or a society. It is the best way to network and build connections. So yeah, we've got a dashboard. Get in touch if you're interested in that. But we also give training and services to people because you know what, the soft skills are just as important as like the pure not like academic or knowledge-based skills. So we're really focused on helping people from the executive level all the way through to students and startups. Everything that we do at Boards123 is aligned to the Sustainable Development Goals. So when we were building out this course, we're really building it out to work alongside number 5, which is gender equality, 12, which is consumable product production and consumption, but especially SDG 16, which is really about including more people in the decision-making process. So that's the way I approach every meeting that I'm in. I approach it in terms of, you know, how is this going to help us solve a problem, and how can I be part of solving that problem? And that's where you really need to put yourself, see yourself, envision yourself in your future role solving problems, because never has the world had more problems that need solved, and we need students and graduates to solve problems, because trust me, everybody else is really, really tired and you guys are the ones with all of the energy and all of the ideas. Okay, so it's really important that you understand how to work, how to communicate in meetings. This is just a wee picture of me. So if anyone is interested in open data, can you get in touch with me on LinkedIn, because I'm completely obsessed with open data and sustainable data, and doing a project right now as part of, we won an open data project from the Department of Finance a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, get in touch on LinkedIn. Okay, so that was introduction to me. Now we're going to introduce you to Oscar, because he's going to help us today. And Oscar is our company mascot. You'll find him on Instagram, but Oscar really hates bad meetings. So if you are in a meeting, you can just pop a little picture of yourself with your pet and post it on Instagram, and Oscar will be really grateful. So what I just want to say before we get started is today is all about, and this whole week is all about you guys, and actually looking at your career, your employability, whether you're just starting on your journey or you're actually quite secure in where you see yourself in a year or two time. It's really, this is the week that you just have time and space to really think about this and focus on it and dedicate your energy to it. So I just want to thank you for the hour of your time to really focus, because you could be anywhere today and you guys decided to show up here. So thank you very, very much for your time. Okay, so what I need you to do is make sure that we're going to do some worksheets. What I need you to do is make sure you've got like a pencil or a pen and like an A4 sheet of paper or a post-it note or whatever it is that you use, because we're going to be doing lots of worksheets here in a couple of minutes. And I also want to really encourage you to turn your camera on or your mic on if you feel comfortable. So I did ask this question earlier this morning, but I'm going to ask it again because it's a new group. So we're going to talk about meetings, but I want to know from you guys, and we're going to use Blackboard for this, why you think it's important for you to build great meeting skills. So why is building great meeting skills important to you? So there's 8 options here. I would encourage you to pick about 2 or 3, and you're just going to go up to the text box and like type your name over whichever one you think is the one or two that will make a difference to you. Okay, like that. So what would be your top 1 or 2 things here? Would it be boost your confidence? What problem do you want to solve? Boost your confidence, reduce your anxiety in group meetings. Do you want to improve your knowledge of workplace etiquette? So maybe you're not quite sure what that's like. Do you want to help improve diversity, equality, inclusion, and decision making? Do you want to improve your leadership skills? Do you want to understand how meetings work so you can really motivate other people to speak up in meetings? Do you want to improve your job or career prospects? Or do you want to get your point or idea across in meetings? So what are the ones that really, like, when I said that, you're like, okay, that really resonates with me. I really need to, like, that's something that I actually struggle with today. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, well, first of all, thanks for using Blackboard. So that's super great. So we have a few winners here. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Don't worry, we're going to start. Just Sarah, grab a pencil or a pen and a piece of paper, and we're going to get started on a worksheet exercise in a little second, okay? But I've just been doing some introductions. Okay, so we've got a clear winner here, which is boost my confidence. Yeah, so boosting your confidence in terms of being able to speak up in meetings and be heard. So would anyone like to come off mute and maybe give an example of a time where they struggled in a meeting, or why they need to boost their confidence? So we've got, let's see, Tom, Amy, Rose, Bernadette, and Zoe. I'm just totally going to pick on you guys. Would any of you guys like to come off mute or video and share why you would like to, you know, why it's important for you to boost your confidence in meetings? Or is this ironically proving my point? Because this could literally be your first step in boosting your confidence. Anybody else want to contribute?
I mean, I can say.
Oh, all right, go ahead. Two of us were jumping in the same time there.
Yeah, I mean, I can say from my own experience. I mean, any new environment with different people is, you know, I certainly still get anxious, whether it's a different, you know, committee or group you're working with, or a new job. So anything that's new with new people that you haven't done before is kind of challenging. And you know, from my own experience, I suppose, you know, I can relate to that. And I suppose it's something that you push through, and inevitably you realize people at different levels, even people. My first job was working in the Ministry of Defence, and ironically, I felt that the people that were at a very high rank or level in that organisation were actually the easier to work with. It all comes with experience, but you know, your confidence can raise after a relatively short period of time, in my experience, you know.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's a really good point, Brian, is it's all about finding somebody who can connect with you and actually has got empathy and is open to bringing you into the process and engaging you and including you and being inclusive. So, okay, I'm going to move on to the next slide. So what we want to so we're really focusing on meetings, okay? So what I'd like you to do in Blackboard is put your name against one of these areas. So there's lots of types of business meetings, from like the more informal down at the bottom all the way up to the more formal at the top. So, you know, at the most informal level, an informal meeting could be like a one-to-one meeting with your manager that you might do once a week or once a month, or a check-in with your lecturer. Then we've got team meetings, which could be, you know, your work team, or maybe you're doing a team project or a club or a society. And they're normally more formal because you'll have an agenda that's set out in advance. You'll all have your own role and responsibility. You would have had action items or something to do or to bring or to prepare for the meeting. So you're really contributing. That's a really active team meeting that you're in. Then we've got department meetings. So often in department meetings, people start to get a little bit more demotivated because it's normally you're being provided with information. It's less engaged. You're not really able to contribute as much in a department meeting. And then a board of director meeting, those would be way more formal. And depending on how good or bad the chairperson is, will really depend on how much you can contribute or not contribute. But what I really want to say to you is what we're going to go through in the workshop should apply to every type of meeting, whether it's an informal meeting or a formal meeting. So I don't want you to feel that just because you're new to the workplace and you've just graduated and it's your first job since you've received your degree, that you can't contribute, or that you can't prepare, or that you can't demonstrate your skills and your knowledge and your ability. That's literally what we're going to go through now for the worksheets, okay? So my next question, and you can just type A, B, or C in the chat box for this, is think about a meeting. I want you to think about a meeting that you go to. Or how much time per week do you spend in meetings? So is it like 0 time? Do you have like no meetings, that you never go to meetings? Or are you spending about 1 to 5 hours a week? So that's about like 1 meeting every day. Or if it's more than 6 hours, that could be maybe 1 to 2 meetings every day. So if you just type A, B, or C in the chat box. So everyone's normally in about like one meeting a day. Okay, so actually just take a wee second to think about that. Like, it's because we know that one meeting, if it's 1 hour a day or 5 days, you still have to prepare. Thanks, Brian. You still have to prepare for that meeting. You've got action items after that meeting. It takes energy to show up and contribute in that meeting, okay? So it's really, really important that when you are actually going to meetings, that you understand why you're there, why you're showing up, what you're getting out of it, and is it actually benefiting both your overall goal and also helping solve the problem. And as you go through your career, you'll have not only different types of meeting, but different types of people that you're speaking with. So right now, you're spending a lot of time just either internally in the university or internally with your course, your department, and you're really spending, everyone speaks the same language, you're all there to achieve the same goal. But as you move off outside of university, you're going to start speaking with customers and suppliers and maybe even investors or funders if you've got a startup, or maybe if you want to get like a bank loan or a credit union loan, you're going to still have to have meetings, or if you're applying for, a research grant, Innovate UK, something like that. There's all of these different types of conversations, types of people that you meet. So if you can really apply the workshop, the framework that we're going to go through in a minute, to every single one of these types of conversations. And I know I keep saying the same thing, but really, we just want to unlock a few things in the next 30 minutes to help you be more successful and make a difference when you're in the workplace and get work ready. Okay, so we have meetings because we want to build teams, communicate, solve problems, get ideas, and actually discover problems. So I want you to get your pen and paper right now, because I feel like I've done quite a bit of talking and I want to get this way more interactive right now. So we're going to start off. Has everyone got a pen and paper? Okay, what I want you to do is, thanks Sarah, what I want you to do is right now we're just looking at, we've got like a table here, okay? We've got a meeting, we've got a column for role, we've got a column for objective, obstacles, skills, and teamwork. So for this session, we're going to just focus on role, objective, and obstacles, okay? So I want everybody, and there's only 13 people on the call, I want you guys on your piece of paper to either pick a specific meeting. So whether it's like a work meeting or a university meeting that you're in every week, or an extracurricular meeting. So maybe it's just like if you're in a club or a committee or something like that. I just first of all want you to think about what that is, and then write it down on a piece of paper, but could you type it into the chat box as well, or just to get started. Just to share with you guys were there, and just to get started. Because what I want to do with this worksheet is I want you to think about a meeting that maybe you're having a problem with, that you're attending. If most people are attending at least 1 or 2 meetings every day, I want you to think about the one that's currently the most challenging for you. Absolutely, Peter. Dissertation project absolutely counts. Yeah, think about the one that's the most challenging for you. in terms of like you're still not clear on why you're there or what you need to get out of it. I don't know what PANI means, Catherine. I need to go back to school for all of these new comms marketing acronyms. Okay, so has everyone got one? Cast Drum Club, love it. Yeah, okay, classic, Brian. we're going to have to use that as an example later on. Although, is that Drum Club or Drama Club? I think. Yep. Bernadette, is that? Yeah. Publicity Association Northern Ireland. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Yeah, Taylor, health and safety. Nothing screams excitement more than the regular health and safety meeting. Fantastic. How do we energize that meeting? All right, okay. Good stuff, everybody. So let's admit it, we're all in meetings and some of them just aren't that great, okay? So what I want to do today is empower you to unlock a few tips to actually flip that experience around and turn the negative into a positive, okay? So yes, it is very important. Never has it been more important, actually, health and safety. Okay, so can you, well, Taylor, would you mind coming off mute and telling us what your role is in that meeting? I know that you're the rep, but can you tell us a little bit about the role? What do you have to do? Thank you.
Hi Taylor, can you get off mute, or is there a problem? Not sure what the 0 stands for there in the chat.
I'll pick on Catherine. Catherine, could you come off mute? No problem, no problem. Catherine, could you come off mute, because I'm really interested in this Publicity Association Northern Ireland. I'd love to know what it is and what your role is.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Hi, Catherine.
So I take part in a PANI meeting each week, which is we get a brief from a client. So this Share to Rosie's Trust, which is an animal charity, but also helps those with disabilities and those with terminal illness to see their pets. And we have to come up with an advertising campaign that'll increase their awareness and donations. And I think there's 8 different groups, and the group with the best sort of advertising proposal gets their campaign to go live in summer.
Oh my goodness. I know so many groups that would absolutely love that. Do you have a big waiting list for people, or do you struggle to get charities to come along and join up?
I think at the minute it's hard to even to be creative. It's something that you don't practice to be creative. It just has to come to you, and I think that's the sort of thing that difficulties come with, because it's a bit like when you're a writer and you have like a writer's block, but you're creative and you just don't have a creative flow.
Fantastic. Okay, yeah. So that is a struggle to constantly come up with new ideas week in, week out, or month in, month out.
Yeah, and also trying to differentiate it. You don't want it to be too similar to like advertisements of like Dogs Trust, for example. Just don't want it to be want it to stand out from other charities.
Okay. Okay, so that's a really good problem to to use in terms of like you're in a meeting, you've got a creative meeting, but you have but your brief is, your challenge is you always have to generate new ideas and differentiate each client from the other client, and it's hard to keep that energy and that creative energy up. Okay, so because your role is to deliver a brief or like a something to the client. Okay, so hold that. Can we get one other person to tell us, give us an example of another project meeting that they're in? Bernadette, is that drama club or drum club? I'm not sure. In Coleraine, could you tell us, Cass? Is that Coleraine drama club? Bernadette, can you come off mute? Sorry. Hello. No, Taylor, are you back able to come off mute? Still not working. Okay. Right. So is everybody? Sure. Has everybody got
Hello?
like hello?
Hello, is that me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, perfect. I don't know what the problem was there.
Go ahead.
Oh, perfect. So I'm a team leader with Henderson's, and for one of my duties in the shop, I'm working part-time at the moment. So I'm health and safety rep, and I have monthly meetings with my managers, which is sort of the director with health and safety. And what we go over is risk assessments and sort of safe work and things like that. And if we get this book and stuff to fill in, it's a bit of a nightmare to get it all squared away correctly, especially with COVID now.
What's the biggest challenge? Is it to fill it in, or to actually understand what
It's
you need to fill it in?
more actioning everything. So it's sort of, for example, I've done a pregnancy risk assessment there a couple of weeks ago, and I was just getting all the T's crossed and I's dotted, make sure that everything was covered.
And what do you find, apart from the fact that you have to go through all of this additional process and paperwork, and just in terms of like how the meeting goes with your manager, is there something that's a challenge around that?
To be honest, it's pretty straightforward stuff. We just sort of discuss all the sort of flaws or what areas I'm sort of struggling with. It's not really sort of a one-to-one meeting now, so it's sort of a group meeting between our area shops, which I believe there would be 20 odd. So you would sort of have your sort of dedicated time. I think it's usually 10 minutes or so, and you'd sort of pull over your point of what's been happening in your area and things like that.
Okay. All right. Well, this leads us on really, really well to the next part of the worksheet, which is objectives. Okay. So we're all going to meetings. Some of them are where you're contributing some information. Some of them you have to be collaborative. Some of them you're just reporting up. Okay. So we know what the goals of the meeting are, but I want to understand, like, what's your personal objective in terms of actually, you know, you've joined either a group or you've joined this publication, like this quick design sprint, like rapid design sprint thing, or you've got a part-time job, you know. So what are your own, in terms of, you think about your career, like why are you even spending time showing up to these meetings? What are you going to get out of it for your career by showing up to these meetings? So what's your objective? So I want you to think about that, and I want you to actually write that in the next box. What's your career objective? So Taylor, for you, are you doing all of this work as a team leader because you have a career goal to be an area manager, or to really understand about, you know, health and safety because you want to go on and really focus in that area, or maybe you want to be compliance or a consultant or something, or yeah?
Yeah, it would just be sort of good experience behind me, because what I'd like to go into is software development management, so become a tech lead. So I'm sort of thinking that health and safety, doing that role or going into that responsibility, would sort of help me along my career path.
Okay, so if you're going for an interview, what experience are you what experience do you think that they're going to ask you to demonstrate, and are you doing that today?
I suppose project management would probably be the closest thing to that in terms of the career goal that I want to go towards.
Okay, so and are you able to do that through this risk assessment work?
Yeah, I suppose I've given tasks and sort of areas to focus on each week. I suppose I could sort of tie that into that.
So is there an opportunity for you to actually add more value to that monthly or that risk assessment meeting by doing something innovative and creative that makes it easier for your manager to get all of the data?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like creating a wee spreadsheet for him each week to sort of show what I've been doing and how I'm getting on, sort of time-wise, maybe I suppose.
So exactly. So so when you go for a job, what's going to differentiate you between the other people? Because if the other people are just showing up and reporting, like I've filled in the form and I'm really good at filling in forms, or do you want to actually get the job and show I filled in the form, but I actually then created something new and innovative out of that form? So what's your personal objective, and how can you use that the meeting that you're currently in to accelerate that career goal? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, and the same way for, sorry, who was I speaking to? Not Taylor.
Catherine. That was Catherine.
Catherine. The same way for Catherine. Catherine, just come if you can come back online again. So if you're having problems coming up with creative or new ideas, what's your personal what's your personal objective for being in that meeting? Sorry, Catherine, if you're there. Yeah. So what's your career goal, Catherine, or your personal goal?
I think it's mostly getting in, not taking other people's ideas, but sometimes it's good to just get inspiration from other campaigns that are there. I just do like some research, and also it's great that I'm in a team, because I feel like working by myself it would be a lot harder.
So you enjoy working in a team, you enjoy creating ideas in a team. If you had like a future career goal, what would that job look like?
I'm not too sure yet. I'm trying to figure that out.
But you like the idea of it's like collaborative team collaboration, coming up with loads of ideas, like high energy type experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so in order for you to boost your CV and boost your workplace skills and actually demonstrate, leadership skills, good communication, is there something that you could do differently in those meetings that would actually make it easier for you to not always be trying to design things in the same way or coming up with new ideas? So what's the part of the meeting that gives you the least amount of energy?
I think because we're working with a professional agency, we're working with ASG and partners, and they help us with sort of previous project. And I think the main thing that's really helped us so far is the fact that they're able to give us all this insight as well. So it makes coming up with creative things less difficult, because they give us guidelines and help us let us know if we're on the right direction, sort of thing.
Right. So, I'm sorry to pick on you, but I think this is a really great area just to focus on for the next couple of minutes. Can everybody just type in chat if you're on a project that actually means you get to work with a business? So Catherine's working with ASG. Taylor's got a job with Henderson's. Do you all have opportunities to work with like outside businesses? So basically, future employers or people that you're working with. Just if you say yes or no in the chat, because I think this is actually really, really important. Peter says not really. Well, no, Peter, you're in a university, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But Catherine, I think this is really exciting actually, because you are building networks and connections with people in the industry, in the sector that you want to work with, the same way Taylor is. So what you want to do is actually move from, being, being in a relationship where ASG are coming in and showing you examples. You actually want to start being more proactive and more engaging, and actually maybe as well as them bringing some ideas to the table, maybe in the next time you get a brief, maybe like do some pre-work before the meeting and actually bring in a couple of ideas yourself. And believe me, that will be a great signal to the people that are working on the team that you're proactive and that you're engaged and you're really interested in coming up with new and different ideas, because you will see things that they don't see. And so don't just depend on the people with more experience to bring the ideas. Kind of back to what I said at the start is, trust me, you're in a really powerful position. They want your ideas. They crave your energy and your enthusiasm. So don't just think because they've got more experience that their ideas are the right ideas. I would really, really love to find out if the next time you get a brief that you've actually brought one or two ideas of your own. And you know what? If they don't like them, they don't like them. That's not the point. The point is that you've actually gone to the trouble of actually doing that, the thinking beforehand, and gone to that effort, because the objective isn't necessarily to get your idea picked. The objective of the meeting is for the employer or for the person, the most senior person in the room, to kind of go like, you know what, I really appreciate that person put in the time and effort to actually do some pre-work before the meeting. Okay, and that's what's going to differentiate you from the other people who just kind of showed up. Okay, so that's your career goal here, is you have to go a little bit further than everyone else to kind of, be seen and be heard and be more prepared as well. Lovely. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about obstacles. So I won't pick on you guys anymore, sorry. So let's talk a little bit about obstacles. So we talked about, how meetings work, a few techniques to level up your meeting skills and to reduce your pre-meeting nerves. So you need to be prepared and understand, why you're in the room, what's your goal, and what's your objective. And now we want to let your ideas shine through. So when we're talking about letting your ideas shine through, yes, you have to do some pre-work. But what I want you to do now, and I'll try and pick on a few other people, is what's stopping you? What's stopping you from letting your ideas shine through? So, Peter, I'll pick on you this time. In terms of obstacles, what do you think is your biggest obstacle in terms of you've picked a meeting? So what's kind of your blocker in terms of connecting with the right people or the right discussion or the right support to get to where you need to be in your career? If you could come off mute, that would be great.
Yeah. Does this have to specifically pertain to what I put as the role, or can it be just for any meeting that I've been to?
Oh, for any meeting, that's fine. Yes.
I suppose the biggest obstacle for me would be unfamiliarity or lack of experience. So walking into like a meeting for the first time and not really having a clue what to do. But that's something that has slowly decreased over time as I've attended more and more meetings. I've taken up more and more roles outside in extracurricular activities, and that has helped overcome some of that. But of course, there is still always a bit of shock whenever I walk into an unfamiliar setting with unfamiliar people and wonder how on earth do I interact with these folks.
And I think we all feel that way, Peter. That's just totally normal reaction. You know, the great thing about this whole week at Future Skills is it's really focused on like how to empower you as you go into your career. Everything that you're doing is bang on. You know, extracurricular activities, they joining clubs and societies. There is a fantastic mentor program called UU Connects that you can find a mentor with, and mentors are something that, or it's really good to get a good mentor now when you're in University of Ulster, because I mean there's hundreds of different types of people there that you can get to, but it's just good to get used to that like mentor-mentee relationship. And I think especially, Peter, where you're going in your career, you're going to have so many different mentors as you move up and you go through to become, you know, professor, lecturer, whatever it is, writing those papers, and then you will ultimately, part of your job will basically be to be a mentor to the other people as they're coming through in their undergrads and postgrads. So building that muscle memory around how to ask. So a mentor is there to help you. How to ask for help can be really difficult. How to accept ideas or feedback from other people can be really, really difficult, okay? But if you can do that in a safe way by finding a mentor through UU Connects, there's also throughout this week, there's lots of opportunities to book in to like a couple of mentor sessions with the different people who are speaking this week. And that is a golden opportunity for anybody on this call. I highly recommend you check out all of the people who are giving those sessions away. You know, I would definitely recommend you guys do that. But I love what Peter's talking about there, which is every time you go into a new meeting or you go into a new team, it's almost like you have to reset the dial back to zero and go through the process over and over again. And that takes time and that takes energy. And depending on how motivated you are to have a really good experience in the meeting will really dictate whether it's a positive experience or a negative experience. And that's why I have built this little worksheet, because, you know, guys, if you're going to a meeting and it's not giving you anything and it's really hard and the culture is really negative, then I want you to stick up for yourself, and I want you to say, you know, this isn't at the right time for me. I don't like the culture. I'm not learning anything. And I want you to stick up for yourself, not in like a diva way, but just to have those open conversations with your employer, your supervisor, because they don't want you to be sitting in meetings that they're paying you good time and money to be in if you're not learning, or if you're not engaging, or if you're not contributing, or, you know, if it's causing you stress or whatever. So you really have to almost, you know, take accountability for your own time and your own energy as well, and figure out, you know, what is this meeting about? What's my role in the meeting? Why am I here? What do I want to get out of it? Why did my boss send me to this meeting? What skills am I going to learn? Am I working in teams? Do I like working in teams? You know, all of these things, you're constantly going to be working in teams and in meetings, listening and learning. And that's really what it's about. If you can really figure out, you know, your why, understanding your why about being in a meeting will actually make the meeting, it'll just all click and you're like, ah, okay, that's why I'm here. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Thank you very much. Yes, did I set it right? I think Catherine says, I think not wanting to seem overconfident can also be an obstacle in meetings, as well as lack of self-confidence. Catherine, feel free to come off mute and talk a little bit about that. But if you don't want to come off mute, I would definitely say you need to get a mentor, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with being confident. You just probably need to do what like Brian and Norman are talking about here, which is just maybe prepare your thoughts and your energy, and not worrying too much about what others think. Confidence is fine. We want you to be confident, Catherine. I'm having trouble moving on to my next slides here. Let's see. We seem to be kind of stuck. It's gone really fast now. Okay. So yeah. So we're coming to the end, but really what I want you to think about is, when it comes to getting ready for work and boosting your careers, that even though you're spending time in meetings, there's so many other opportunities before the meeting and after the meeting to contribute to problem solving, to contribute to building up your professional profile, to building relationships, and actually building those career opportunities before the meeting and after the meeting. So before the meeting, you should be preparing for the meeting, spending some time preparing for the meeting. Then after the meeting is key. So after the meeting, if somebody's gone to all of the trouble to send you to a meeting or invite you to a meeting, you should be sending them a thank you note. You should be following up to understand, here's my action items, making sure you understand when they're due, exactly what they expect you to deliver. Because if you don't clarify what it is that the person wants you to, if you've got an action item, and if you don't clarify what it looks like, then no matter what you give them, it will never be a success. So if someone tells you to go away and buy a piece of fruit and you come back with an orange, but they wanted an apple, they're going to be disappointed. So you need to go back and clarify, do you want an apple or an orange? Okay. Because you want to be successful, you want to demonstrate listening skills, project management skills, meet expectations, all of that sort of stuff. Okay, so there's such an opportunity after a meeting to really demonstrate that you're engaged and that you're proactive by following up and saying thank you or connecting with them on LinkedIn or whatever it is. Okay, so yeah, we did that one. Insert blockers. What's stopping you? What obstacles are stopping you? So I'm having a little bit of problem with my slides because they're going really slow.
I can see if I can move it forward here, Anne, if you want.
Oh, here we go. Okay,
I'm in there, Brian.
Okay, no worries.
We're here now. Oops. Back to that one. Okay, so today I talked about the basics of meetings a little bit. There's more on that on the session I did this morning, which will be recorded, which you could see. So I recommend, if you didn't go to this morning's session, you should really look at that as well, because we went into more detail. But today I was really focusing on like your personal goals, like you're spending time in meetings, what you want to get out of meetings. So you need to be prepared. You need to show up to these meetings. You need to be present. You need to be focused. And you need to understand your why. Why are you actually here? Clarifying your role. I really hope nobody's just going along to meetings not understanding why they're there, because take responsibility for that and just have a conversation with somebody and make sure you're clear on that. And then understanding what your own goals are and your objectives, and letting your ideas shine through. That's really important, Catherine. You can be super confident. And that's exactly, we need confident people. So we've got big problems in the world to solve today, and we need your confidence to solve those problems. So yeah, get a really good mentor, and you'll figure out how to use that energy so that it feels right for you. I am actually at the end of my slides for today. So if you could grab your mobile phone and take and scan this QR code, or I will pop the link into the chat here. Chat. It's going a bit slow for me. There we go. Pop the link into the chat and give me your feedback on how you, if you feel more empowered after our lunchtime session. Be really grateful. If you want to stay, thank you, Catherine. If you want to stay connected, we're on Instagram. And we've also got another session tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. It's called the Triple Stack Hack, and we'll be going into loads of detail on meetings and how to get the most out of your meeting. So that's tomorrow. If you're interested in me coming along and speaking to your club or society, please just get in touch. Oh, cool, Peter, thank you. Just get in touch. It's anne@boards123.com. There I am down there. Follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, I guess too. And yeah, I'll hand it back over to the guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, and very much appreciated. Yes, I feel slightly more empowered myself now, even, I have to say. I spend an inordinate amount of time in meetings, and sometimes you do kind of wonder why you're there. And no, it certainly benefited me as well. What I would like to say is, and I'm putting it in the chat bar now, Anne has very kindly agreed to provide some kind of one-to-one advice sessions with students on a kind of first come, first served basis. There are advice sessions with a number of our external speakers who have joined us this week, and the link is there to enable you to have a look at that. Anne had mentioned she has a session there tomorrow. You're aware that all the sessions are advertised on the Ulster.ac.uk Skills Week website. A couple that I would like to promote are the Northern Ireland Senior Women's Football Team. This isn't about football, folks, is the first thing I want to say. You don't have to follow football. I'm sure you're aware that the Northern Ireland Women's Senior Football Team have, for the first time ever, got through to the Euro 2022s. It's a mammoth achievement, but they will be on talking about how they've managed it, about the employability and the skills that they have employed, not the silky soccer skills I'm talking about, but things like confidence and resilience and determination and dedication to achieve what they have achieved so far, and hopefully we will kind of go on to achieve greater things as well. Brian, yep, see you waiting another meeting. So the link for that one is in the chat bar now. Yep. We then have one in relation to supporting a friend's mental health, perceptive peers supporting mental health. Again, times are trying. We're slowly but surely, with an element of caution, I will add, as a health and safety rep, coming out of this pandemic, and people will be changed by it. There's no doubt about that. And I think this is a really important session in terms of our ability to support our friends and our colleagues within the workplace as well, and demonstrate a level of emotional intelligence and empathy. When we look at the World Economic Forum Skills for the Future, emotional intelligence is massively highly rated in terms of the skills requirement for the future workforce. So that's one that I would certainly recommend. And the link for that one is in the chat box I'm working on a dozen different screens here, is in there now. And I'm sure most of you have heard of David Mead, an ex-Ulster graduate, and he has very kindly agreed to come along and do, I believe it's the final session for the Skills Week, the concluding session. And again, you know, certainly worth booking into and coming along to. This is about kind of, again, tips and tricks. And again, you know, it's very important what Anne had said. You have opportunities there through the UU Connect Mentor program, through the advice sessions, through the ability now to massively network. Globally, internationally, you can now network through the likes of both your Handshake profile and through the employability portal, or through the likes of the professional networking site LinkedIn. There are opportunities there. And again, you know, they say fortune favors the brave. I think fortune favors those who are planned and organized and kind of develop their networks, so that, you know, opportunities, you know, come to you in many different guises. They you know, they can be serendipitous. They can be, you know, where you've really kind of done your homework and, you know, looked at an organization and kept an eye on an organization. But it's the old adage, even, it's not necessarily what you know, it's who you know. And sometimes through developing those network connections, you can find out about, you know, summer opportunities, placement opportunities, internship opportunities, graduate opportunities, and even volunteering opportunities. You know, we talked about the likes of Rosie's Trust there. You know, a brilliant volunteering organization that works with people with terminal illnesses and the elderly to keep them connected, you know, with their pets. Future graduate recruiters, placement providers want to see what you've done in addition to your degree, folks. And extra and co-curricular activities, as Anne said, are absolutely vital in terms of demonstrating that, you know, you have that capacity to develop new skills, to build your confidence, and to engage with people. There are no jobs where you don't work with people. Okay, lighthouse keepers don't exist anymore. I always challenge our students to come up with a job where you will not interact with another human being, be that physically or virtually. Okay, they don't exist. Your ability to communicate and to have that confidence in terms of your ability to communicate and engage, and your interpersonal skills in relation to your ability to negotiate, to persuade, to influence, all really, really, really important. Now, we build employability into the curriculum, but at the end of the day, you need to demonstrate that you have the wherewithal to go above and beyond, in that you're aware of what's required from you in the world of work as a graduate. And I did put in the chat board earlier, our students are the future of our economy. You know, no big ask. At the end of the day. But listen, that's us. We're a couple of minutes over time. I just want, on behalf of everybody, Anne, to say sincerely thank you very, very much for your time, both earlier on today, this afternoon, and again for tomorrow as well. Anybody, any quick last questions before we go? Going once, going twice. Sold to the woman in the feather boa. None here, thanks. Okay, well, listen, I'm going to stop the recording now. And people, you know, Anne very genuinely there, you know, did say make a connection, and I think that is important.